Honestly, in this day and age, shame on the women who shit on guys who actually try respectfully to like get your number or like approach you or like just hit on you in general in like a public setting. Extra bonus points if it's not a fucking bar or an atmosphere that involves alcohol. Like, I hate when girls like, ew, like that guy like came up to me, like what a weirdo. Like, they literally need to be encouraged to do that. Like, no one does it anymore. I love when men like shit on like girls who go out in bars and stuff like that or whatever. But like, where are you gonna find your husband, on Hinge? At the grocery store? They are not fucking approaching you there. Swear to God, whenever someone approaches me, specifically not in a bar setting, I have the utmost respect. Even if I don't find them attractive, I'll give them a number regardless or conversate with them regardless, because it's like so admirable in this day and age to actually have the nerve and the kahunas to go and do that. So stop shitting on them, because we need that.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we are taking a look at men saying no to the bedroom. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you subscribe if you are new here, and let's just jump right into it.
I just saw a TikTok where a girl said a guy won't approach a girl if she's really beautiful. If she's really attracted to them, a guy will be intimidated and he will not approach you. But a guy will also not approach you if he's not attracted to you. Actually, a guy won't approach you, period, in this generation, because it's princess treatment. The guys want to be pursued. The guys want to be approached. The guys want you to text them. The guys want you to make the first move.
Wanting to feel desired or even respected is not princess treatment, okay? It is basic reciprocation.
Did you know that 78% of men don't approach women anymore? Here's why that's your advantage. Fear of rejection, fear of looking desperate or awkward, which means if you're the one guy who walks up, introduces himself, and can hold a conversation, you're not competing with anyone. So no, hot girls are not used to being approached. In fact, they are waiting on it. Comment approach for my comprehensive guide on how to master the cold approach like a natural.
It isn't a fear of rejection. It's not wanting to participate in a public humiliation ritual.
It honestly kind of makes me a little bit sad that on my dating videos, I feel like a lot of women comment. Okay, so I feel like it's collective feeling. I mean, like, it's really weird because I feel like a lot of women want to be approached, or they want to be in a relationship, or they want to date or whatever. Do men feel the same? Like, genuinely, do men feel the same way? And I'm just asking, like, out of curiosity, like, is there like a problem where like men feel like women don't want to be like approached, or like
modern women literally told men to never approach them? There is no acting dumb on this one.
Don't want to be in a relationship? Like, do they, like, are they scared? It's like a genuine question, okay? Because I've been getting like a lot of feedback, okay? Like comments, DMs, whatever, on my last video, which was about like dating. And a lot of people are like, yeah, it's the same. And I don't see a lot of like men. I do get some like DMs from men saying the same thing. But like, I wonder if men feel the same way, or if they're like intimidated to like talk. Like, what do we do? Like, how do we fix this genuinely?
There's no fixing it. Men have too much to lose when it comes to cold approaching women at this point.
What's up with men? I don't know. I wanted to ask you, men don't come up and ask or talk to you anymore. There was this cute guy. He went to the bar at one point, so I was like, oh, let me go to the bar too. So I like saddled up next to him at the bar and kind of like gave like a look, and he looked right at me and then like looked away. I was like, okay, well, never mind. Like, I was seeing something that apparently wasn't actually happening. And as we left, one of the other bachelorettes on this trip was like, oh my gosh, that guy kept looking at you. Did you guys talk? I was like, wait, what? You saw it too? I guess I could have said, hi, how are you? I don't know why I didn't. I guess I was like, I made that move. Meet me the other 75% of the way, or whatever it is.
Women like this think that sitting near a dude and walking to him is the same thing as saying hi. Crazy.
It is becoming like that. Like, I think that there's a shift in it. And honestly, women have to take more of the reins in a way. Maybe we should have a man on and ask him what that's like. Why don't they do that?
A dating expert.
Is there a dating expert man that would like to come on this podcast?
I can't remember many times of like I've been approached. And that has been like hard on my self-confidence, because I've seen it happen to my friends. Specifically like these two friends that are like drop dead gorgeous, like fit all the beauty standards, like petite. Obviously I'm not like harping on them, but I'm always just like, why doesn't that happen to me?
They don't want to actually ask men. They just want other women to validate their personal feelings.
Am I like intimidating somehow? Am I putting off like a certain vibe? I like to be like, it's just my height, I guess. I'm just too broad of shoulders for someone to approach me. But like, I've been approached by women. And so I wonder if it really is, it's almost switching these days. Like, people are just changing.
I love it. Okay, so you don't need a male dating expert on your show, honey. You should just call me. I'll mosey on down and tell you what's going on. Okay, so here's what's happening. Guys, you tell me if I'm right. In the chat, go ahead. I want you to just tell me, by the way, give me your opinion. Why are you guys not approaching women? Let's hear. I want to see in the comments. I want to see in the chat.
It is no mystery as to why men are not approaching. Men have made it quite clear over the years.
I'm going to tell you why I think you're not approaching women. First of all, you've had enough. You're tired of getting used and abused, right? So typically you used to approach women, get laughed at. Oh, women are wanting you to approach just so that they can get attention and validation about how good they look that night, get their free drink, and then they drop you like a hot potato, right? You get ghosted. Oh, can I have your number? Sure. Get your 2 free drinks, the girl, and then she's like, bye. And then you go to text her, either ghosted or you find out she gave you the wrong number. Don't you love that when that happens, when they give you the wrong number? And then you're writing some rando and they're like, oh, I'm not Amy. And you're like, wow, I just spent, all that money, spent 2 hours with this girl and now she's at the after party with somebody else and give me a fake number.
Unfortunately, what she described is the best case scenario for a lot of dudes out there.
Girls, you do it. You know it. They're tired of that. They're tired of now, especially with social media. It's blown up the whole game because you can see the girls laughing at you, making videos, gold diggers everywhere, talking about how, oh, you're so ugly. Oh, you don't have all these best. Oh, I went out with him, but he's only 5'8", so I didn't take him seriously. But I drank all his drinks and all his bottle service. Right? They see it. So here's the thing, ladies. Here's what I would tell you to do. First of all, you are going to need to take the lead a little bit because guys now are saying to themselves, I only want to spend my time and my money on women who are actually interested in me. They really are interested. So you got to show interest now. It's not enough to just stand there and look cute. You have to actually show interest. Decide what that means for you.
Most of the time, these women aren't even interested in the men, only what they can do for them.
Also, ladies, you have gotten increasingly promiscuous. You've gotten increasingly boss babish, right? You're prioritizing things guys don't care about. You're like, oh, I don't need a man all day long. What do you think guys are going to do eventually when you keep saying, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I can do it. Okay, honey, do it yourself and I'll be over here just chilling. You don't need a man? Let's see how you do, right? That's where it's at right now. So when you keep telling guys you're useless, I don't appreciate you, you're not good enough, I don't need a man, eventually they say, you know what, screw you. Screw you. And that's what's going on now.
You can't mock an entire group of men and just expect them to still just shower you with attention. That's not how that works at all.
Women have told men for over 50 years to leave them alone. So now women have to approach men and they can't handle it. Men used to learn game, work up the courage to approach women, and they would approach women at work, in public, in the bars. And it's really natural for men to be the hunters, especially when trying to find a potential partner. But those days are gone. And let's look at a woman's reaction when she got rejected after approaching a guy.
Hey, I was wondering if I can get your number by any chance. What about you?
You want my number?
Yeah.
On the second option?
Oh!
When these women get rejected, they will get off light and they still cannot seem to handle it.
Tell her, King. Tell her, King. Tell her. Okay.
You ever date a black guy?
No.
So why are you here with?
Never say never.
Why ain't you dating a black guy?
Why am I not?
Yo.
Hello.
What's going on, babes?
What are you saying? You alright?
Yeah. Where are you?
What are you doing?
Just on this little date with some little
Little date.
Yeah.
Little what?
A little date. Better not be no dead date, no.
Yeah, no, don't watch that, babes. Did you leave that food in the microwave for me?
No! Yeah, I'm going. Shower. So the shower's dead, right? Yeah? Okay, cool.
You already know I did.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna see you when I get home, yeah?
Alright, well.
See you later, babe.
Alright, bye.
Oh.
Who's that?
Hmm?
Who's that?
Oh, it's the friend.
That's your friend?
When she has a guy who's just a friend, then it's okay. But if he has a girl who's just a friend, it's unfair.
And I understand why a lot of guys want to quit. They say it's not worth it anymore. They say they'd rather just give up. Because sure, the current terms and conditions of modern dating are bizarre, to say the least. They suck. They definitely do. But if you ever want to make a change, you got to get really good at the game you're playing. You can't give up. You can't sit out. That's not the way it works. You got to rise to the top of the game. And once you're at the top, you can make changes. You can choose to sit it out, but I think you should try to compete at a high level. I think that's always the best way to go. But
I think that if a man is going to improve himself, he should probably do it for himself, not to impress women.
yeah, I understand why a lot of guys want to sit it out. It shouldn't have to be that way. When you're young and you're 18 years old and you just want to have a girl to love, get married, start a family with, live in your small apartment while you're both working, grinding it out, you and her, broke as a joke, madly in love, you get married, she gets pregnant, you bust your ass, you get a promotion, you buy a house, the American dream. That's what people want. But that's not the current landscape for most people.
Those days are over when you need 2 jobs just to afford rent on a crappy apartment.
You know, a good 90% of people aren't following that blueprint. So it's hard. It's hard work. It's tough. It's not something that you can have a warm feeling about. You know, it doesn't give you a wholesome, good feeling. Modern dating game. It's corrupt. It's evil. Too many games.
The game has been rigged against men. You can't blame them for not wanting to play anymore.
This is actually something so frustrating to men because they hold themselves back from approaching women since they've been told time and time again that women don't want to be approached. But then here's these women wondering why men aren't approaching them while they're looking like they are having the worst time ever.
Why would any man approach a woman who's looking miserable at a bar? It makes no sense.
Which is so frustrating because it feels like a game and meeting new people is tough enough. Especially when you don't want this to be the thing that's eliminating potentially good partners. I mean, there's already enough crazies out there, which is why I always recommend to men to do a public data check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com before pursuing the woman that you're interested in. Because it can save you from wasting a lot of your time and effort.
You know, at this point, I think that women are going to have to start approaching men and strangers, but of course, that's probably not going to happen.
So why do men no longer come up to women? I asked this in a TikTok last week, and it got so many comments, especially from men. And I just want to preface this with, this was no shade to men, this post was no shade to men, and neither is this one. I was just genuinely curious and asking. I love men, I think they're awesome, and I think that they're a little confused right now. But most of their responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were told that you want to be left alone, and you just want your own space, and you don't want us approaching you.
Men gave a fair answer, and instead of listening, she's just going to say that we're wrong anyway.
Which for some women, that can absolutely be true, but I love meeting people in person, and I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person, and I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online. Men were also saying things like they were called creeps and weirdos, and they don't want to be called that. It's not a pleasant experience. But I will say that it has to do with how you approach a woman.
She just immediately assumes that men are approaching wrong instead of actually just listening to what men have to say.
Like, for example, myself and my friends have had men come up to us with a really, really intense energy, like a very in-your-face energy, and they're really nervous and they're kind of scattered and they're very pushy or weird, and their energy is just off. And one of the most attractive things to a woman is emotional intelligence, and that shows within like the first few seconds of meeting someone when they introduce themselves to you.
You can't just use a one-off experience to completely disregard a man's valid argument on this.
So if you're gonna go up to a woman, just like take a calm, deep breath. If you see a woman working on her laptop or something at a cafe, you can go up to her and be like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I thought you were really beautiful and you seem interesting. I would love to get to know you more if you're interested, and then slipping her your number on a napkin or something, you know? Like just coming up to women with a calm energy and not giving off this like needy energy or this like pushy energy. I think
she has no idea how insulting she sounds right now when she talks to men that way.
That is what women don't like. I think it's really sweet and cute to be approached in person, and I know that there's a lot of women like me. There's probably some women out there who don't want to be approached, and that's fine, and it's hard to tell who's who. But I think you can tell when you go up to a girl kind of right away if she'd be interested or not based on her body language, and just be calm and natural and don't overthink it. You know, I know that's easier said than done. I've only gone up to a man once in my whole life, but I think that might help.
Suggesting that most men are socially inept is also not a great way to give men advice.
I don't know. I think I'm just someone who's very interested in people interacting with each other and having experiences and building community. And I think the world is growing more and more introverted and people are on their phones more. And I just think it's beautiful to meet people out and in person. And I just don't want to lose that as a humanity.
She thinks socializing is so beautiful, but the reason she thinks that is because she's not the one doing the approaching and actually risking everything.
There is no reason for a man to behave like a gentleman with a suit. That's kind of the whole selling point. That would be ridiculous at best and wasteful and dangerous at worst. So that's the answer to the question that began this series. Where are all the gentlemen? They disappeared when the lady went extinct. And it wasn't men who killed her. Women have proudly fought tooth and nail to escape the social restrictions that define that identity over the past 60 years.
You can't expect men to be gentlemen to women who proudly refuse to be ladylike. It makes no sense.
So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that modern women want the best of both worlds. They want the social freedom of the product and the respectability of the lady. And that just doesn't make sense. Like, one person can't be both a lady and a product at the same time. If these designations are to have any meaning whatsoever, they need to be grounded in objective phenomena. And while it's always kind of easy for a lady to become a prostitute, it's very, very difficult for a prostitute
There's a reason why the saying, you can't turn a 304 into a housewife, exists.
to become a lady. It is possible, like the Empress Wu, who started out as a concubine in Chinese history, but it is much more difficult than the opposite. So let's be real. The standard template for a woman's behavior in the sexual marketplace today is to engage in casual sex without commitment through their 20s and then settle down into marriage around 30. That is, they want to enjoy the social freedom of a prostitute for 10 to 15 years, and then they want the respectability of a lady for the rest of their lives. And unfortunately, that doesn't make sense to men.
And they expect the simps they disrespected for 15 years to wait around to wife them up afterwards.
Women are going crazy, guys, because they can't figure out why you're not going up to them anymore. Guys' eyes are wide open now, right? They're wide open. And they're starting to say, well, you know what? I used to think it was worth it for me to just put myself out there all the time because, you know, I wanted to take a girl out. But now I'm realizing you got the gold diggers, you got the women who want the free meal, you got the women who expect me to do everything, but in return want to do nothing. You got women who are saying, what do you bring to the table? But when you ask them, they get insulted. You got women who don't, you can't even talk. You talk about, you know, oh, yeah, you had 400 boyfriends before and you slept with all of them. You know, they get defensive.
TikTok was a blessing in that regard. It really helped to show a lot of modern women's true colors.
Maybe I just don't need to pursue women right now at all. That's what's happening. And I'm not saying that's good, by the way, because ultimately I'm someone who believes in, you know, men and women complementing each other when men are in their masculine and women are in their feminine and coming together and making a big, beautiful family. But this is the reality that's happening right now. And I understand why. Guys have had enough. So ladies, you want it to change. Instead of making a stupid TikTok video and complaining about it, act different. Act different. Look at your life and say, am I prioritizing stuff that guys don't give a lick about? And then complaining that they don't give a lick about me?
The problem is, far too many of these women are too far gone in terms of their attitudes.
So they have some self-reflection in the game. Is my attitude shitty? Did I make 4 TikTok videos, you know, ripping on a guy the other day that I went out with, and now other guys are looking at that saying, oh, I'm not going to be, no, I'm not getting in line for this one. Self-reflect instead of bitching about it. Oh, well, he doesn't want me because he doesn't appreciate a woman who makes a salary.
It's easier for them to blame men than actually do any form of self-reflection at all. That's just the way it is, really. If you would like to get early access to videos, weekly lectures, and case study breakdowns of human behavior, make sure you check out the members area link below in the video description. Otherwise, make sure to click on one of these videos on screen now if you enjoyed. Make sure you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.